am I going to enjoy myself? I'm going to put my feet up and just...
Well, I'm sure you'll have a nice day. Now, do you want some help with your things?
Oh, no, thank you, love. I can manage. You just point me in the right direction.
Let's take the stairs to the first floor and turn right. Your room's the second on the left.
Righto.
Mrs. Birdsworth.
Yeah?
You'll need the key.
Oh, I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Be it ever so humble.
Sandra Edwards, I find on the evidence all charges against you proved.
Surprise, surprise.
Do you have anything to say before I pass sentence?
Sure, I've got plenty to say. But a fat lot of good it'll do me, so I might as well save my breath.
That is both untrue and unfair, Edwards.
You really think so, Mrs. Davidson? You know, I don't blame you. You'd probably change things if you could, only you haven't got the guts. Just have a look at him. It'd be bloody laughable if it wasn't so sad. He couldn't care less about any of us. We're not human to him. That means we've got no rights. So why should he be concerned about a little thing like truth and justice?
Edwards, I must warn you, I am rapidly losing my patience. I don't like your attitude.
Well, I don't like yours either, so that makes the two of us. Oh, go on, pass your sentence, do what you like.
Mrs. Edwards, you seem to feel that you're being railroaded by this court, when in fact nothing could be further from the truth. Your misplaced loyalties have got you into this trouble. Now, if there is someone else involved in plotting the riot, you have a duty to identify that person. Instead, you've chosen to make things as difficult as possible for everyone concerned, especially yourself.
I don't lag for anyone.
Since you refuse to cooperate, I have no option but to sentence you to 6 months imprisonment on each of the first 2 charges, 3 months each on the next 5 charges, and 1 month on the final charge. A total of 2 years and 4 months to be served consecutively and in addition to your existing sentence.
You mongrel!
Plus 2 days in solitary confinement for contempt of court.
Mrs. Powell, take the prisoner back to her cell.
Come on.
You couldn't lock me up long enough to get rid of the
Get
contempt I feel for this court!
Oh, yes, keep it up, Edwards. Laughter's going to be your only company for a while.
Don't you worry about me, Popas. After seeing you screws together, I reckon I'll have a better time on my own anyway.
You just don't learn, do you? You're not in control here. Oh, I know, you'd like to think you are. Well, you're not. Now, you've made your little bid for power and it's failed. We are in control permanently. There are going to be no more riots, and you and your cocky little friends are going to learn to toe that line if you know what's good for you.
Oh, stop it. You're breaking me up. You don't really believe all that garbage, do you, po-face? Because if you do, you're going to have to lay in a pretty big supply of liniment. You're going to have a bloody stiff neck from looking over your shoulder all the time.
Threatening me, are you?
Would I do a thing like that? You know me, I'm just trying to be helpful. Tell you what, give me a smoke and I'll give you a few tips on how you and your moronic mates can really keep this zoo in order.
Yeah. Well, from where I'm standing, zoo's a pretty good description.
Not like you to be clever. What about the smoke?
You make me sick.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Hello. I suppose I've missed seeing Lizzie.
Yes, but she asked to say goodbye. How did Edward's hearing go?
2 years and 4 months. Considering the way she provoked the VJ, she's lucky it wasn't more.
Oh, if only we could get these women proper legal representation.
Well, you're not suggesting it would affect the outcome, surely. We go out of our way to be impartial at the hearings.
Yes, I know. But do we have the moral right to deny them proper legal advice? Well, that's all I'm saying.
Edwards could have asked the VJ for proper legal advice instead of being disruptive and abusive.
But we teach these women to respect the legal code, and then we deny them the very rights they'd have if they were arrested outside the prison. I mean, how can we expect to rehabilitate them if we don't give them any guidelines?
You may be right, but it's not something we can change overnight.
No, of course not. Oh, I want to speak to you about a union matter.
Oh?
The department's ruling on security is making some of the staff pretty nervous. Look, we can't keep up this strict suppression forever. It's like sitting on a powder keg.
I understand your feelings, but my hands are tied. I can't ease up on restrictions. There might have been a chance if the women hadn't rioted, but now the department will come down even heavier than ever.
But at what cost? Look, I don't think the department gives a damn about the women or the officers, for that matter.
I know it must seem that way sometimes.
Sometimes? Look, this place was running pretty smoothly until the department imposed those new measures. That's what caused the riot.
Well, they don't see it that way.
Oh, no, of course they don't. Then they'd have to admit they were in the wrong.
Meg, I don't think you
Look,
should...
what about staff to handle all this security? Is Mr. Douglas seeing to that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've just had a call from him.
And?
From now on, female officers must be accompanied by male officers at all times. The department will supply the male replacements within the next few days.
Replacements?
Yes, I'm afraid so. For every male officer supplied, we lose one of our existing staff.
And what will happen to them? Are they out of work?
No, of course not. They'll be offered a choice of one of the low-security prisons.
In the country? Well, what about their homes and families? What if they don't want to go? No, Mrs. Davidson. I don't think the union will find that acceptable.
Suppose it'll have to do. Not as good as my house, though.
It's time you got out of here and let us have this bed for someone who's really sick.
Oh, so I'm still going back tomorrow, huh?
Bright and early. I want you to have a good rest tonight, so I'll get Sister to give you a sleeping draught later. Can't miss your beauty sleep.
Don't think sleep's going to help this face.
Don't fish for compliments.
It's fishing. I'm hardly a Kate Peterson. Now, she's really attractive, don't you think?
Really, Mrs. Smith, I'd expect you to be a little more subtle.
You don't like her, do you?
That's an understatement.
Well?
hardly be ethical for me to discuss a former colleague with a patient. Besides, what's the point in dragging out the dirty linen now? Peterson's locked